Let's now welcome political analyst Professor Mukonza. Professor, it's great to have you on SA Today. Welcome. So what do you anticipate in this move by the MK party? Do you think the secret ballot request will ever materialize in our National Assembly since the 2019 vote? And if it is allowed, Professor, what do you anticipate might happen in terms of the numbers in favor of the motion?
Thank you very much, and good day to your viewers. I think what we are seeing here is politics at play. The MK party must have done their calculations and realized that probably there could be some fissures, particularly within the ANC, and they are looking at exploiting those fissures to their advantage. My thinking is that the Speaker is not going to allow the secret ballot, and this motion of no confidence is not going to succeed.
And in that event, then, Professor, we have seen the criticism on how the ANC is currently handling its members in Parliament, especially in light of these recent developments. Would that be a wise move on the Speaker's part, should she, of course, decide to decline this secret ballot request?
I think, like I said earlier on, this is politics at play. ANC is going to act in a manner that preserves itself and its current leadership, because any change of leadership at this point in time is likely not to work for the African National Congress, because this is going to worsen divisions within itself. And that is not something that the ANC would want at this particular point in time. Let's also take into account that the country is under the governance of a government of national unity, and such a development is likely to add to the already fractious state of leadership that we have in South Africa.
And Professor, now the question around the Speaker also having seemingly sole discretion on this matter of choosing whether or not to approve the secret ballot is also a thorny one, because according to the rules, she has to apply rationality when making this decision. So let's look at the pros and cons of a secret ballot in its entirety, right? We have been promised a transparent governance structure, and in terms of citizen participation in these processes, there still needs to be an inclusion of everyone's opinion, especially on public interest matters like we've just seen with your CETA board saga, as well as the upcoming probe that will be looking into allegations of high-level corruption within SABC as well as government. So the public simply cannot be excluded from these, but politicians also cannot be left to just toe the party line, forgetting the needs of the people, as we have witnessed previously.
Indeed, what you're saying is ideal. But let's also remember that the Speaker comes from a political party, which is the African National Congress. Let's also remember that these various members of Parliament come from different political parties, and these political parties have their own interests. And the members of Parliament cannot act as if they do not belong to the different. It will be more like trying to analyze things without putting them into context. So I'm thinking that political parties are going to be very key in terms of directing how these members of Parliament are going to behave in terms of voting for. In the voting process.
But let's talk about that further then, Professor, because we understand that the DA and ANC relations at the moment are currently frosty. And let me refer you back to that statement of intent when, of course, they all joined the GNU. I remember the DA was saying that they would not vote against, they would not vote for motions against the president at that particular time until, of course, new proof was actually provided, specifically in relation, I suppose, to the Phala Phala saga. But looking at the recent developments now, let's look at where might any of these parties actually take their vote. Is there a possibility that we might see something of an upset when it actually goes through to that vote? And if, in fact, that secret ballot is allowed?
I think you're correct in characterizing the relations between the African National Congress and the Democratic Alliance as being frosty. And in a context-free environment, the DA would have wanted to punish the African National Congress because this presents an opportunity for them to do so. But beyond that, they have to think about what then becomes of such a development, and that's where I see them not voting with the MK, because remember, the DA may not prefer the African National Congress, but they view the African National Congress as a better devil than either the MK party or the economic freedom fighters. So I think they'll still choose to work with the African National Congress under the presidency of President Cyril Ramaphosa than to allow a situation where it may become a free-for-all if, for example, President Ramaphosa is removed.
And Professor, maybe just in closing, I want us to really be honest around this question. For public interest's sake, should this ballot, this secret ballot request not be allowed? What do you think about that?
I think there's nothing new that the MK party is bringing to the table. Yes, South Africa is facing challenges in the areas that the MK party has pointed out, that is the areas of governance, areas of national security, and also the economy that is not performing. And the current government, under the presidency of President Cyril Ramaphosa, has not done much to, convince the public that they have solutions to the problem that the country is currently facing.
And that's the problem there, Prof.
Having said that, I would say the MK party is being opportunistic in latching on to the state of affairs and wanting to take such a drastic measure of, say, wanting to remove President Ramaphosa, because that can only worsen the situation. So I think, in all honesty, this is just politics at play, and the MK party is being opportunistic.
All right, Prof. Thank you so much for your input this afternoon. That is Professor Mukonza. There is a political analyst on the secret ballot request in the motion of no confidence against Ramaphosa that has been brought by the MK party.